Hello and welcome to All Short. And yes, we're doing a live stream. It's a bit of an ad hoc live stream. And before the Snowflake show, which is at 9 o'clock today, GMT. So the Snowflake show is, well, as the name suggests, it's about us snowflakes, you see. Us woke lot. And stuff that's currently going on. The madness that we're finding. Everything's reversed, but I'll try and pull my hat down the wrong way. Anyway, today I want to talk about those EU laws, those pesky old EU laws, which happen to be British law now. But also I want to talk about something that's been going on and hasn't really made the news. But I'll go over what's been going on regarding the EU laws first. Quite funny, really. They're like loggerheads. That's how I see it. But nobody seems to care. No. Unless you're in government, obviously, because they want to take control of everything. And they don't want any so-called EU laws, which were rolled over into statutes. Obviously, they're British laws anyway, so I don't really see what the problem is. So it's not going to be a hugely long live stream today, because I kind of burnt myself out the other day trying to... Well, I managed to get to, what was it, 6 hours? A live stream on Sunday. A bit mad, really. It all of a sudden just shut down. And so it sort of sent me a signal. I think enough was enough. So, yeah, the ministers, they've been at loggerheads, clashing, you could say, because, well, they just can't agree on anything over plans to scrap the EU-era laws copied over to the UK law after Brexit. And we know how, well, Jacob Rees-Mogg, the walking penny farth, and Doffcat Forelock and all that, but how he loves to rant about our freedoms, how we're about to get our freedoms back. Because obviously these EU laws, according to him, are hampering our ability to take full advantage of Brexit. I just want my Brexit. That's what they say. You know that already. Urgh. Let's get to the truth of the matter. If Jacob Rees-Mogg's sunset clause comes into play at the end of this year, in December, it will be chaos. Because there's diddly squat chance that we're going to get anywhere near getting these, well, I mean, that's 1,200 laws, and that's 2,400 laws, and that's about 4,000 laws. In fact, it could be considerably more. They don't even know how many laws there are that could be rolled over into... Well, not rolled over, to be changed. But they've already been changed. Huge amount of money and a lot of time has been spent to make these laws relevant in the UK. And no, I'm not on fire, just so you know. Be incensed, you see. Oh, hardly. Yeah, that it is. But... Talking about Harleys, I've been watching a lot of Polish television, believe it or not. Polish television. Bologna. Yeah. And the latest one, it's called Sexify. And I have to admit, it's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Yeah. So anyway, I won't get into that because, yeah, you might be watching it yourself, but it's funny. Really funny. Yeah. What's happened to British comedy? Funnier in Poland. Even with the dubbing. There you go. Anyway, before I carry on, who we got here anyway? Because like I say, there's a bit of an ad hoc one. I just thought I'd just go for it. As you do. No, don't you? Okay, you don't. Well, luckily my internet hopefully is going to hold up. Now, Mad Monk, I see you here, buddy. Good man. I really appreciate your help. I really do. And as you remember, well, I've always said it. My stream on Sunday, just all of a sudden, I went, oh, didn't want to know. Well, you already know that we're on 4G here. All this is done through 4G by directional aerials, antennas on a pole. Seriously. Because our landline internet here was absolutely chronic. System in, it works really well. Apart from the fact is, we get 210 gigabits. I've got 2 cards that I use on the 4G, and I forgot to swap them over. Literally, we just ran out of internet. That was all that happened. That's my own stupid fault. So now I've got internet. I haven't got no internet on my phone anymore if I go anywhere. But saying that, I'm not going anywhere. I'm a bit of a hermit. That's what me. I'm a hermit. I do admit it. Right, so let's have a look who's here. Oh, pop out the chat before we get into these EU laws, and then I want to talk about Polydine, something that's been going on up north in Teeside. Oh, maybe you know what I'm talking about, maybe not. Oh, who we got? Johnny Gay, hi there. Susan DeWitt, hi in Belgium. And Leslie, hi from Scotland, hi there. I'm sorry to hear about you and Richie Sunak circumventing your new laws and what have you. Maybe they should embrace the same laws. Maybe that would be an answer. Well, I tell you what though. I'm sure the SNP are rubbing their hands together. Oh, see. Yeah, this is why we've got to leave the United Kingdom. Because they keep undermining us. In fact, they do. I can't understand why he's done that, or why they so then, because obviously it'd be a bit odd having two laws, and I don't know, is it really? You know more than I do. They've been discussing this, or they've been in negotiation, debating this topic for over 6 years. It isn't exactly it's new, and there was cross-party consent until Labour starting to get a little bit funny about it. But anyway, that's Keir Starmer for you. So hi from Scotland. Chatty rat, evening all. Hello the gingers. Johnny, I've got my pellet burner on because it's flipping snowing. Literally snowing outside. I'm sitting there, I've got a flipping blanket on my legs like an old person. I'll come and change my nappy in a minute. We'll get the carpet cleaner and clean the carpets, even though we ain't got them. Been there, done that job. Oh my God, don't do that in a nursing home. Never go and get a job where you got to clean carpets in a nursing home. Don't do it. There's everything in there, from blood to weed to poo and food. Oh, don't think about it. Oh, just did. Oh, we're Miller there. Hey, I'm there. Evening all. Mad Monk, even Margot, said evening everybody else, he says. That was Scotsman. Johnny Gay, and there will be no 6R stream tonight. No, there won't, because I'm not going to step on the toes of my good friend Lee Good and Reagan Elite, who will be also hosting a live show tonight called The Snowflake Show. And I don't want to step on their toes. No. Max, maybe. Phil Morehouse, maybe. Although it won't make a bloody sight of difference. There you go. He won't watch me. Oh, there. And it's okay. And Orkbish. And Sean Nilbud. Is it Sion? Is it Sean or Sion? Sion? Check out Soapy Norman if you want Polish teeth. Okay, I am just gonna grab my little pad and write it down, or I'll forget. I've got Soapy Norman. Is it on Netflix? Oh, Soapy Norman. Oh, Soapy Norman. God's sake. I have to admit, it's the second one I'm going through at the moment, and it's really good. That one was about actually, it's about sex. You Polish, you're a little bit saucy, aren't you? Huh? Soapy Norman. Yeah, that last one's, I can't remember what it's called now. It was about a brothel. And this one is about some lass, I only just watched the first couple of episodes, who wants to create an app that heightens your sexual please. An app. I find a hard time getting people to do to get the data, do the research. I'm here. Don't tell the missus. Oh, and the cat's away. The mice won't. No, not in this household. Nobody wants, let alone me. No, don't blame him. I would be honest. I don't want me. Leslie, thank God for democracy and devolution. Yeah. Evening, one and all, says Tommy Gunn, and scrolling down, and Chatty Rat. Many of those EU laws would have repealed existing UK laws. Repealing EU laws without reinserting the original laws will create a legal vacuum. You ain't kidding. A lot of these are like environmental stuff and your rights. But you know what they like about your rights? Yeah. Dominic Raab said, I don't believe in employment law or human rights or something like that, didn't he? That really dodgy video. Looked like he's about 5 years old or something. There you go. Trying to make it even more difficult to get back into the EU. That's literally what they're trying to do, Tommy gun buddy. They are. They're just trying to make it harder and harder and harder. Otherwise, basically, less alignment with the European Union makes it less likely that we could ever rejoin. At the moment, they're doing quite well out of Brexit. Dare I say it? Even the internet is faster, so I find out, by a considerable amount. Just smoke out the way. But let's get into that, shall we? Anyway. Oh God. Oh, and I got my bear. I'm ready. I think I'm ready. Right. This is an article. It's only just come on about an hour or so ago, and it's actually in the BBC. So I do apologise for that. I don't normally do BBC stuff, but it's actually not a bad article. It is. And it's like how they're clashed over. That's why Paul said, and it's how they're clashed over EU laws. So I thought it was quite interesting because Labour's obviously got the right. This is a bit much. I'm gonna move it over here. Go right across my face. Oh. Put it over here. That's my bad. Oh yeah, that's clear. But all of a sudden it's clear. Okay. All right. I'm gonna click the button. If I find out where my buttons are. A bit like that program we watching. It's all about pressing buttons. Oh, okay. I'll move over a bit. Right. This, like I say, it is in the BBC. And I'm no fan of the BBC. Some things are good. Some things are pretty off the mark. But ministers are clashing with the MPs over a plan to scrap the EU laws. Now, so under the retained EU law bill, thousands of laws, well, that are due to expire automatically because of the sunset clause. That's Jacob Rees-Mogg's little. Yeah, a sunset clause, if you don't already know, it basically means that you're setting a deadline to whatever you want to set the deadline to, in this case, laws, and basically they'll be null and void. They'll just literally like flick the switch. None of them will apply anymore. Apply anymore. Well, you can imagine that's just going to be completely a nightmare, and there's no way they're going to be able to rewrite, rework, or even examine each of these laws because there's just so many of them. Years in the making. And the ironic thing about it is, the UK has taken, it had a seat at that table. It played a part in writing these laws, making these laws for the benefit of the United Kingdom as well as the European Union. And now apparently they're not good enough for us. Well, under the retained EU law bill, thousands of laws are due to expire automatically after December. Sunset clause. Unless specifically kept or replaced, which means you've obviously got to examine them. It's not going to help considering civil service servants are, they're on strike. They're on strike. They haven't got enough anyway. They had to employ a huge amount just to get to this point with Brexit. Brexit's been quite a costly exercise, but you know that already. I've always won. Speaking in the Commons, Anuscani told MPs it would ensure, this is I think they'd be a bit optimistic here, ensure laws inherited from the European Union do not become an ageing relic, dragging down the United Kingdom. Tell you who's dragging down the United Kingdom is the Tory party. However, Labour criticised the government's time limit as a deadline in search of a headline. I thought that was a good phrase. And, Keir Starmer's doing that a lot recently, isn't he? And he reckons it's all just been plucked out of thin air. So far, the government has identified more than 2,400 laws. In fact, there were less than that before. When they first got talked about 1,000 odd laws, thereabouts. And it's 2,400 laws. Now there's another 1,400 on top of that. And like I say, they don't actually know how many laws there are. They don't even know. That's mind-numbing. Even though they rolled them all over, they don't know how many laws there are. So when they rolled them over, did they bother to actually see what the laws are? Did they bother to have a look to see whether or not, the wording, say for instance, EU or European Union or whatever, has been replaced with the United Kingdom, for argument's sake? I have my doubts. Maybe they had like a clause at the bottom. I don't know. Or like Santa Claus. So the bill will allow the ministers to amend or replace EU laws using secondary legislation. And a fast-track process for making new laws, prompting concerns about a lack of scrutiny. The officials have also predicted that around 1,000 new UK laws will be required to remove or replace EU or EU-era legislation by the December deadline. At least. The power to Westminster. Oh, sorry, Scotland. Bob Neill, one of the several Tory MPs, backing an amendment to give MPs more control over which EU laws to ditch. And said the bill, as it said that the bill, as it stood, now would lessen Parliament's role in reviewing the legislation. What, Parliament's supposed to be sovereign? Well, another Tory backing the change, former Brexit secretary and leading Leave campaigner. He didn't last long, did he? No, it was a Brexit negotiator. About a day, wasn't he? I'm exaggerating, I know, but hey, David Davis, okay. Upsides and all that. Wasn't that his phrase? Something about upsides? There'll be considerable upsides to Brexit. Well, he said he wanted to avoid giving ministers the power to change laws by diktat. Well, fair enough. He added that the MPs were being asked to sign a blank cheque, and some EU-era legislation was too important to change or remove via a fast-track process. At last, dare I say it for David Davis, at least there's a little bit of common sense. Maybe. Under their amendment, the government would have until the end of September to draw up a list of laws it wants to scrap. And the MPs then are able to add or remove legislation from the list after the vote. Labour has put down several amendments to exclude various EU laws from the December 2023 deadline, including rules on airline compensation, Tories safety, transporting animals and Tories, and equal treatment for part-time employees. Maybe in the brothel, I don't know. Is that a part-time or full-time job? I don't really know. And speaking in the Commons, Shadow Employment Rights Minister Justin Madders said it would ensure that vital regulation does not cease to be law by accident. Now, the Liberal Democrat spokesperson, Sarah Olney, has criticised the end-of-year deadline, accusing ministers of running roughshod over the Parliament by changing the laws at breakneck speed. There's no way on this planet, on this earth, there's no way they can get this done. I can see this being extended. Really, the only thing he can really do at the moment, I think, is, well, he needs to look at this sunset clause and extend the sunset clause. Quite frankly, this is impossible. There's over 4,000 what they know of. Now, the criticism rejected by Miss Garney, who said that the government did not plan to weaken the protections and the bill was a chance to ensure the UK economy is competitive. Well, they want this bill to go through because they're trying to slip under the radar all these other elements of this bill, which basically rip away human rights. Just like the other, they're going to take away, well, they want, to have ID cards just so you can vote. Well, you know as well as I do that there'll be a lot of people who won't bother. And so all you're going to do is bring down the, well, not the electorate, but those who actually bother to turn out. And even less people. I have to admit, in my past, when I've voted in the past, I've just walked past the polling station, oh yeah, I better go and do that. It was a case of, damn, I forgot about it. I haven't registered. All that sort of stuff. Yeah, I've got a photo ID. Where is it? I've got to find it out. Where's my driving license? I don't know where it is. Where's my passport? I'm giddy aunt. Well, if it's here in the EU, for instance, you have, in France, you have ID cards anyway, but, a huge issue, but. Kind of goes against everything that liberalisation and all that Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson tried to, was an advocate for. Right? I think. Oh, where's my. I'll try to find my chat now. Trying to find the chat. Oh, here it is. Here you guys and gals are saying. Da 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 da. Oh, gotta press my button first. La 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 la. Oh, I need to grab that. Oh my god, I'm all over the place. You know what? You need like 10 screens when doing live stuff. You really do. Oh. What are people saying? What are people saying? What are you saying? Oh, Jean Bolos. Hello there. Hello from the Reunion. Little island it is. Oh. Is it hot? I bet you ain't got snow, have you? I know I have. Just worked out that YouTube doesn't black out a satire flag if it's a part of your name. The satire flag was confused. Oh, you got a little flag there. Oh, I see your point. Those laws tend to be about protecting people. Oh, why would you want to do that? Protecting. Let me just make that a bit bigger. Look at the size of, it's like little writing. Let's make that bigger. Oh, you can. Let's press those buttons. Oh, Control plus, Control plus, Control plus. There we go. I can see now. That's better. Oh, lavatories at work. Oh, can we talking about that? No, not. Hello, we've got David Davis. Oh, no, it's David Harris. Hello there. Hi, Mark. I still that mug. Have a crown, Mark. Unfortunately not. And if you were there when I was in the United Kingdom last year, beginning of last year, but similar sort of time last year, I went into Weatherspoons. Yeah, I did that. I went in there. And I asked the poor lass behind the counter about where I was upset. I said, "Where's my crown stamp?" She just looked at me with a glazed look. Like, what the hell are you talking about? The promise. I wanted a crown stamp on my dimple glass. That's what I wanted, but I didn't get it. Nope. So Soupy Norman is a Polish TV show translated into English, but the voiceovers have nothing to do with the original. A bit like A Magic Roundabout was a French show, but the English version was mental. What? Oh, I've got to watch it now. Soupy Norman. Soupy Norman. Scrolling up a little bit. No 6R streams tonight. Down. So, bear with us a second. On. Hey. Right. Oh yeah, please boot the old like button. Helps the channel, you know. Did he? And Leslie, Gingers, where's that? Where's Ginger says? We're expecting 6 inches of snow. Oh my giddy aunt. That's a lot of snow. I hope you're gonna put some. Yeah, keep your door clear. Get out. You got a snow shovel near your door? Crikey, 6 inches. That's a lot. Devolution. Yeah. Many of those EU laws would not be would have been repealed against. Sorry, I've gone too far up. I've done that already. Those laws tend to be about protecting people, yes, because they don't actually neo-feudal England. Ooh. Obviously unnecessary in a neo-feudal England, says Jorny. So those laws tend to be about protecting people from other people in a position to endanger them against the government. They are in a position to endanger us. And they're doing a good job of that as well, aren't they? Well, I want to know if these protesters do glue themselves to the floor. With the new laws, the protest bill coming, does it mean to say they can just rip them off the roads if they're glued with the super glue? And pull the skin off their fingers. Oh. Obvious luxury. Unnecessary in a modern workplace. Oh, what's that? Toilet. These laws tend to be about protecting people. Haha, YouTube, I win. Lavatories at work. Oh, not lavatories at work. You mean lavatories at work. I get you now. Yeah, it's about, whether or not you've got facilities and stuff like that. Silly stuff like that, and there's loads of them. Some of it's quite trivial, but there's still laws, still things that need to be but some are quite serious. Employment rights and environment rights and stuff like that, for instance. It does says I'm doing fine. How about you, Mad Monk? Hello, Snowflake Show. Don't worry, I'm not going to go over your show. That's what I could do. I might carry on streaming on this show. Then if I've got some work I've got to get on with. So while I'm watching your show. So we'll see. Always the same. Those that mouth off about democracy are the ones that want to make it harder to vote them out. Yes, the ones who basically go on about democracy are anti-democratic. About right, that sounds like Brexit. That's to me, anyway. Stu K, hello, Stu K. Yeah, boop the like button. Twice if you like, if you don't like the video. Yeah. You, man, nicked it from Tim Martin. What do we nick from Tim Martin? What, his pub that he can't sell? One of his pubs he's been trying to get rid of in Devon, he can't sell it. Yeah, he can, well, sales keep falling through. Weatherspoons is actually quite expensive now, I don't know. Is it in comparison to other pubs? Because the price of the pint is going to go up and up and up at the moment. Pint. We have a cyclone lurking around down here. Ooh, we don't want that. Our roof is we didn't have this house then, but our roof had been ripped off in a cyclone, which is all the tiles gone basically. Oh, maybe an opportunity to get a new roof. Yeah, they didn't do a very good job because they ripped it under insurance. The roof was replaced, but they used all the old tiles put on the top, put new under tiles under it. They're like Romany type tiles, so overs and unders. Anyway, Weatherspoons is quite expensive. Yep, so I've heard because you told me. Cheers, Johnny, for booping. E&M, always the same. Those. Sorry, I'm too far up again, aren't I? Scroll down. Down the bottom there. So I'm good. I'm doing good tonight, but not Wednesday night nightclub as my oldest brother. Is on his holly bags due to the virtual. Oh my god! Now I'm really confused. Holly bags. At least according to Wikipedia, it seems to be true. I've got Wally. I've got my Wally down here, and now he's come to pester. And we'll get back into art. And then I'll get another one. What's hey boy, my Wally. So why has the S&P picked up on this? Why has the S&P picked up on this? I think everybody. I thought they all would want to pick up on this. So anyway, let's get back into that, and I want to get into environmental concerns regarding this new bill going through, and obviously the sunset clause and stuff. But also, I want to get into the fact that a polydinium, nasty stuff that ends up in, it's killing all the shellfish. But anyway, we'll get into that in a minute. Or little shell. Well, I suppose can you still get oysters, local oysters, and mussels and stuff in the UK? Are they still fishing them, selling them locally, without deteriorating them? Christ almighty, I wouldn't want to be eating that. Oh, not when the actual shellfish themselves are dying. Anyway, environmental concerns. So campaign groups have raised the alarm over the risk posed by to environmental regulation, an area where the footprint of the EU-era legislation is particularly large. EU-derived, I think it's about 1,000 odd laws actually. It's about a good 1,000, if not a few more, laws that are all basic environmental laws. All going to go. That'll be the last ones they sort out. The EU-derived legislation area covers a huge area such as water quality. Do we really want to go there? Water quality, air pollution. Do we really want to go there? That poor little girl died of asthma in London. And protections for that was because they didn't meet the standards set by the EU in London. You know, all little particles and stuff. Pollution standards and protections for wildlife. What right have we got to destroy wildlife, really? You know what I mean? As well as laws on, wait for it, mollusk farming. Yes, shellfish, such as mussels and oysters and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Farming, border checks. So What about the Class A waters, Class B waters, maybe? Well, they're pretty much everywhere now, Class B. Order checks on imported salamanders. What? We're talking little salamander fire dragons. And the rules for importing hay. The thing about importing hay, it's actually really quite... It's a very easy way to import, well, pests that you don't want. They live in the hay, so they live down the strands. They're little larvae and that. Anyway, EU laws covering financial services are exempted from the deadline, as they have been carved out into another bill, making its way through the Commons, the same as expected for legislation affecting the VAT and customs. Now, some of the EU laws affect areas governed by ministers in Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. But the UK government is yet to publish a breakdown, because they probably don't even know. And the SNP-led Scottish government, like you mentioned earlier, Leslie, so the SNP-led Scottish government and Labour-run Welsh government have both expressed concerns about the bill and recommended that their respective parliaments withhold their approval. Will make no blooming difference, will it? They just proved that the other day. Now, Prime Minister Richie Sunak who promised during this unsuccessful summer leadership campaign to review or scrap EU laws within 100 days of taking office. Now he's facing a lot of pressure from some Brexiteers, not to change the end of year deadline. I wonder who that might be. Oh, look. It's that one there. It's Jacob Rees-Mogg, former Brexit Secretary and Brexit Opportunities Minister, who found out that he could allow us to import vacuum cleaners or make vacuum cleaners of over 1400 watts. And a few other kind of strange stuff. Oh yeah, and rip away your rights as an employee. That kind of stuff. Great, eh? Yeah. Benefits of Brexit and all that. What a loser. Well, he wrote recently that the inheritance of the EU regulatory system is now an urgent problem across our economy. Absolute rubbish. Now, the bill will go through its final stages in the Commons on Wednesday, and then go to the House of Lords, where it will be expected to face significant opposition. And so it should. I've done videos about this several times and elements of it. It's just like we've got the ETIS coming in this year in Europe as well. That's going to cause massive problems to those who want to visit any EU country. That includes EFTA as well, doesn't it? ETIS. You know, the digital thing you got to apply for. This is the thing that's really quite sad now. For normal Brits, not the kind who would put the cross in the wrong box, but, good Brits. Ones that, half decent. And Scots. Well, they're saying they're Brits, but I say Scots. Feels cleaner. I don't know what it is. I shouldn't say it because I'm British. I'm English. I've got Indian blood in me mind, but, mum's Indian, half Indian. But, yeah. Exactly with whatever I say, I can taste my mouth. I feel better. I'm a bit embarrassed by it, if I'm absolutely honest. All the things that have been going over the last few years, especially because of Brexit. I do find it one hell of an embarrassment, and the narrative and the terminology and the wording that's used, it's terrible. So ETS visitors travelling to the European Union or a Schengen area. Oh, so the whole Schengen area. Okay, that's fine. So that's everywhere. So ETS. So I think that's what was in my head anyway. But thanks for the confirmation. I think I'm getting dementia. I have to admit, I can't remember things I used to. Definitely not. Because either that, I'm just overloaded with so much. You imagine? Hey, shut up. You imagine what it's like being someone who does this kind of like every single day. Reading all this stuff every single day. So amount of that stuff stays in your head. You're going to overload at some point, surely. You can't get pint and a half pint pot, can you? Yeah, I'm so a half pint. Tenerife potatoes. Oh, yummy. You know what I've been doing? Well, the missus has been away. I've been having. When she left, I started a soup in the slow cooker. So I started with the soup in the slow cooker, and eventually I made it into a curry. Then I made it into a pork curry. Then I made it into a potato curry. And then it's still a vegetable and potato curry now with lentils, and that's, yeah. And the lentils are so broken down now, it's like literally like a dal. Really nice, but it's been going for ever since Caroline left last Monday. Not Monday, she's gone, Monday before. I'm picking up this Sunday. Well, she's been more, hasn't she? Anyway. Obviously don't love me. Don't blame her. Clean your windows. Clean my windows? What's wrong with my windows? You took my glasses. I think not too bad, are they? So the UK will have to adapt. Well, yeah, well, the thing that gets me is about laws, EU laws. I'm just trying to clean my windows. And done a very good job. I couldn't find my proper glasses. They fell down there somewhere. Let's get these out the drawer. But yeah, no, the thing about these, about laws that are made in the EU, most countries, including the United States, end up following them, just like the CE mark. Because if they want to trade with these countries, they kind of have to. Why wouldn't you want to trade with the EU? Oh, what's the EU got? It's about 17 trillion turnover for the whole of the EU, something like that, I think it is. And the UK's 2.7, and then you got the US is about 23 trillion turnover. So it's why wouldn't you want to trade? It's a big mass of people you can do business with. You know, you've got to abide by their rules, didn't you? Just like if you want to sell anything to the United States, you'd have to abide by their rules. But they kind of adopted like the CE mark. The whole idea that we can just relinquish or just say, oh, no, we don't have to do with the EU. No, don't forget Paulak and all that. No, you can't. It's just, no, not if you want to trade. And the United businesses in the UK, you know what it was like before they struck this so-called deal? You know, the, how to put that?
We got an oven-ready deal, put it in the microwave.
That's about right, isn't it? I had my speakers on then. That's probably reverb for the flipping. And what else was that? Oh yeah, that's it.
Let's get Brexit done.
Yeah, that's about right. That was a bit. That volume was a bit high as well. Anyway. So they no longer at the table. No. I like that show. So they no longer are at the dinner table, and they are at, the traffic lights. So ETS traverses, blah blah blah. We've done that already. Simply the simplest dish ever: potatoes, veggies, simply boiled tuna, safe Portuguese, olive oil, cilantro, which is literally it's coriander. Actually, cilantro is actually the leaf, isn't it? And coriander is actually the seed. And homemade bread. Oh, now I'm just. Thanks for that. I'm hungry. It's easier to follow a standard than to find a way around it. Yeah, of course. Yes. That stands to reason. We need to be able to trade together and be a unit so we can actually trade around the world. Didn't they harped on about this, didn't they, during the Brexit referendum, the run up to it? How we're going to trade around the world. But all we've done is put obstacles in the way. Massive boulders. So anyway, UK will be introducing its own version of, yes they are, they call it Electronic Travel Authorisation, ETA, yep. And it will apply to EU citizens except Irish, but will cause havoc when enforcing it in Northern Ireland. Ooh. Yes. The Northern Ireland Protocol. How's that going to work? Okay, that's going to be interesting. It's also going to cause a lot of havoc for people who think they can skip the 180-day rule. So it's going on. And I know some people here that are still living in France under the radar. I'm not really that kind. I'm not really one to grasp people up unless they're doing something that's going to hurt somebody else. Like driving around in cars that, quite frankly, are not legal. Hello, number 3. I didn't see you there, buddy. Well, I'm Ben Riddings. And Paul, say hello. Hello. So we're only streaming until 9 o'clock. Then I'm going to go over to the Snowflake Show. So we call it coriander in the UK because the name derived from the French name for it. And the Americans use the name cilantro for the leaves based on the Spanish name. And coriander for the seeds. Oh, okay. Also in India. Implementing that. Yeah, I wonder who the UK has implementing that. Chatty rat. UK will be introducing its own version. Yeah, that'd be Jacob Rees-Mogg. He'll do it. He'll sort it for us. He'll say about something. He'll go on about something in Portugal or somewhere about the electronic gates. That's what he'll talk about. The electronic gates. It is going to be a mess, even in the EU, because it's going to be it's quite a massive deal to try and get everybody to come together. The thing I was saying about you know what? I digress. The thing that I thought coming to my worms out in a minute. What makes me a little bit sad about it is that, you know, when you want to just say, oh, let's go for a bit of a break. I'm just gonna jump on my motorbike, for instance, and I'm gonna hop across the channel. Maybe drive around Belgium or something like that, Mules and Fritz and stuff, or maybe I'll go into France and get a camembert. I don't know, find back into England. Well, now I've got to get this flippin' ETAS thing. And although they do say you can have it within maybe 30 minutes, they also say it could take 24 hours or something like that, or a certain period of time. There's no telling. You can't, like, just book it and I'll just do it now. You're going to have to do that first before you book it. But the likelihood is you're going to need to have some evidence of your for your for your application of ETAS to be accepted, that you got a return ticket. I'm fairly certain it'll be something like that, won't it? So you're at risk. You could, last minute holidays or quick trips might be a thing of the past. People just hop across the channel. So paprika. My missus calls it paprika. If you don't click the like button, you're a Tory. Yeah. Please do the whole like button. Cheers, that's Snowflake Show. 37 watching now and 32 likes. That's not too bad going, is it? Yeah. That was, well, it's a bit of ad hoc, stream. I was just going to do it, so not many people. I didn't expect many people to be here. That's not bad. For me, will have to be a PCNSI. It says, join the K. It will have to be the PSNI, but stopping cars to ensure that they are not carrying EU citizens and other than Irish is going to be very problematic. And but it's going to cause problems with the Good Friday Agreement. Yeah. Crikey, this is going to be. Build it with Lego. Electronic border control. Oh, well, Lego. Well, they tried all these new border controls we have up north and Northern Ireland and what have you, but that didn't happen, did it? There's threats and stuff, you see. And Walter Howison. Brexiters don't like to like. Hit the like. Oh, quickies from the UK in the EU. Only at the beach during the summer. Only at the beach during the summer. Right, peeps, I'm off to the fridge for a cold beer, so no swearing, fighting or scratching. Or it'll be the naughty step for you. I've got a beer. I'm nibbling away through it. To be honest, all my beers here in France are like 8%, at least. They do like 20% beer here. 20%! You're going to have to be off your rocker. Well, you will be after you're drunk, when you drink. It's not likely ETA is ever going to be implemented. It's a political football. Yeah, you might have a good point, actually. But once the ETS system is, it's going to be like tit for tat, isn't it? Well, you did, yeah. Or they might say, oh, yeah, we're allowing you to come over here. Look how great we are, and you want us to do all this script. Well, it will affect, obviously, British holiday makers. It's going to obviously make it a little bit less heating to visit the EU, they might look elsewhere. Yeah, that is rather strong, Leslie. That one's 8%. That's not an debate. Flounder, what is it? Come out and say. Oh, it's strong anyway. So you don't want to drink too quick. So what do you think of Jeremy Hunt being Jeremy Hunt with the coffee cups? What? What do you think of Jeremy Hunt being a Jeremy Hunt with the coffee cup? I don't know. I've lost the plot. What? If the ETA is not implemented, the HMG will look very, very foolish. Yes. Government will look very... They look foolish already. They don't need any help. They look right all over the blonkers. Oh, I've got to be careful. I mustn't swear. Because since the new policies are coming from the YouTube policies, I got a notification saying some of my videos had naughty words in them. Usually on a stream. A live stream. So... Oh, get my new internet. My new internet is coming on the 25th next week. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday or something? Wednesday, I think it is. So we'll have 2 gigabit download. So they say. We'll see when I'm doing my tests and what have you. But it'll be transformational. I will get even more beautiful. Yeah. Okay, maybe not. Yep, I end up drinking Cronenberg Red, says... that must be Lee. Cronenberg Red when I was over at New Year, because everything else was 6.7%. Yeah, that's about... Usually a bay is about 6.7%. And Cronenberg is cooking lager. Yeah. You could have got some 1664 or something. That's all right. Why is the kitty eating her treats and looking at my tuna? Why is the kitty eating her treats and looking at my tuna? Greedy little kitty you have there. Too much treats. Let's attract the dog. Hey, little doggy dog. Sebastian. Here we go. He's looking at me strange. Oh. You want him? Doing that. Look at his head. Give me the funny look. You must say hello. Come on, have a go. Here. Up. Oh. You're a good boy. What I'm going to have to do his teeth now. I have to get in there with old scratchy things and get the plaque off his teeth. Oh, God, there's no one down there. There's a Wally down there. I didn't see him down there. He's on his little mat down here. There, boy. Anyway. Treats. Got to give them their treats, haven't you? They've got to have their treats. Hello, Billy Bob. Number 3. I would be required to make electronic borders work, including robots of various kinds. Physical infrastructure still required. So no go with the GFA. Borders. That's a good point, actually, because they haven't done anything, have they? It's all going to cost money as well. They haven't got. Even Keir Starmer saying, well, everything we said in the 2019 manifesto, that's all that's out the window now. That's because he's a Brexiter now, you see. He posted the... Although, can't be wrong, I'm going to say it again. Hands up. If I'm going to vote, and I probably will, it's going to be Labour, obviously. What choice have you got, really? Not got any sense whatsoever. Don't want to. Not because it's Labour, because I'm not... Obviously, I'd rather do a pro-Remain party. The Brexit, or pro-rejoin party. Don't get me wrong, I know we're not going to be rejoining any time soon. I know that. It's going to be a long time in the making, if ever. But at least we can get a little bit closer alignment, and maybe it make things better for people on both sides of the channel. What I'm hoping. Anyway, probably not going to happen, so there you go. Surprised that nobody ever comments on Dominic Raab's coupon at the PMQs. He looks like a mass murderer who has just been caught. He does, doesn't he? We kept karate chop, yeah, you know. Black belt and something done, what it is. I don't know. He's yeah. He always get complimented, he says, on his arms. He loves himself. Oh, God, but he's sweaty, isn't he? Oh, don't he sweat? I'm like Prince Andrew. You know, the royal that obviously is, well, he's an icon for the royal family. He's all, you know, proper, isn't he? Andrew. Leave that in the comments down below. Yeah, oh, them green eyes, says Joe. Bitty boy, it does. Well, I'll stick to drinking bottles of Erlanger. I can't even pronounce it. The Tories are politicking around outcomes, not the ways. I think that bear's starting to get to me. But why are people falling? Oh, they did last time, they did the time before. You know, it doesn't take much for them to fall for anything. Lack of thinking and all that, and that, you know, hoodwinked. UK and Bert A says, Boris and don't really smog. Cook in an oven-ready meal, put it in the oven, and it's finished. After 50 years, it's about 47 years now. 47 years? I can't wait. I just can't wait, you know.
We got an oven-ready deal, put it in the microwave.
Oh, it's painful. I've just seen your messages. Ari the webcam man replied, oh, cheers, Snowflake Show. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, I've booked well. I've just ordered another little camera for my workshop, because I do a woodworking channel as well. And for my live streams and this. I've ordered one for an experiment. So I'll check that one out as well. Cause I don't need anything too special, not for close up on the actual machines. So the more cameras I can get, the merrier. That's what I'm thinking, you see. The problem I've got now in the workshop, because there'll be multiple cameras, I need to be able to activate. I ideally want some sort of handheld remote that can operate this software. I can select devices. I don't do it via macros and stuff. Anyway, I digress. That's not really what it's about. The alternate UK joining the EU before a part of it is dropping. Yeah, you're right, Jordy. Bye bye, Scotland. Think of us. They're sinking the ship. Oh dear. Tories don't like to be told what to do. No, they don't. You know, that bugs me quite a bit, actually, as why they can't actually, instead of just being loggerheads constantly, why can't they actually get together and actually come up with something that's going to work? You know? I know one side's going to have more say than the other, I get that. It just seems ridiculous. It's just a total waste of time. You watch them in PMQs, it's just a flip and watch. It is literally a waste of time. It really is. Have a look at Touch Portal. I will write that down. Touch Portal it is. Have a look. The main problem I've got is wires. I need to go from working on one machine, then I want to walk to the next machine. I already need the device in my hand, so I can just flick to the other camera. That's the idea. It's problem. At least 4 cameras, if not maybe 6. That's what I'm looking at doing. I'm not trying to make it more intuitive and more, you know, it's just me jabbering about. So, that's why Boris is in the freezers all the time. He's looking for that oven-ready deal. Tesco's, probably. Tesco's freezers. All's up the Astor's. Or even that, or Walmart. Or they boycotted Warburton's bread, didn't they? The Brexit bread. Keep a candle on. I've got a candle on. Ow, it's hot. There's a candle. Speak of the devil. I am the law. Anthrax. Anthrax, not Infrax. Anthrax. I am the law. Hey. Hello there, Jasper. Hey, buddy. So, Ginger's drafts. I'm screwed then, as I just forgot I'd been to the fridge for a bear. You have. So, I don't know if I go through this too quickly, because I will literally be blotto. Got a funny feeling this might be 10%. I can't remember what one I put in there now. On this big boy bench. Oh, it's a bit like that board you got, but on a mobile or tablet. Oh, it's a bit like this. This is my Stream Deck. Hopefully I don't pull my wires out. This is my Stream Deck, which, like, for instance, if I press the light button here, it should, and it's not now. No, oh, there you go. See, it's see, do you see that? It triggers things. It just makes the whole live thing make it a little bit easier to deal with, especially if you're on your own. If you had lots of people working with you, I'd like a crew and entourage around me, pressing my buttons. Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Anyway, I need to. Richie has not got an oven ready deal. Oh, he's ready to implode. Oh. It triggered a thing, and it did. Well, what I'm going to do is get back into what I want to talk about, because in 36 minutes is the Snowflake Show. Right, pressing my buttons. Not that one. What are we off there? Right, there's concerns. There are concerns in Teeside. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, here we go. Why is that all the way up there? Let's step down a bit. Good software in OBS, considering it's free. This is all free software, which thank God I wouldn't better afford it. It's a bit like shareware, like a community of software developers have created this. It's brilliant software, really. It has its problems, but it's, you know. Anyway, concerns about a free port in Teeside. In Teeside. Because I know the dead. You've probably heard reports before of dead shellfish end up on the northeastern coastline, and Yorkshire coastline. But in Teeside, it's going on like a video over there, and a lot of dead shellfish, including lobsters, have also been found dead or dying. A lot of them are actually live, washed up alive. Well, we're walking over the, in this case, what they say? Oh, we're walking on them. There was that many, says a local campaigner. Some were already dead, but the big majority of them were still alive. Obviously, they've been poisoned by something. Oh, I wonder what. So there's been about 50 odd reports of dead fish, shellfish, and marine mammals being stranded on the beach. Now, dead and dying marine life have been washing up on the beaches around Teeside for almost a year after a mass mortality event. Pity they're not Tories. Sorry, but I said it. Of crabs and lobsters, crabs and lobsters. They're in the autumn of 2021, and according to official documents and eyewitness reports are seen by Sky News. Now, scientists, let's make that a little bit bigger for you. Scientists and local campaigners said that the reports are evidence of a continued ecological disaster affecting more than 30 miles of coastline from Hartlepool to Whitby and beyond. And no, it's not necessarily about the dumping of your poop into the rivers and seas this time. It might be, of course, but that's not what they believe it is this time. No. There's been ongoing die-offs, said Dr. Gary Caldwell, a marine biologist at the University of Newcastle, who has been studying the causes of the initial event in October 2021. The incident led to the virtual extinction of crabs, lobsters in the area, and immediately around the Tees estuary, Dr. Caldwell said. Oh, goodness. Now, there are concerns it could be connected to a free port. No, chartered city. First stage of. There. To a free port, that's there. But free ports are areas where specific tax, customs, and rules apply, so they can rip monies away from the local, councils. The government says that they're, or district councils, the government says that they are designed to create thousands of high-quality jobs in some of our most disadvantaged communities. Well, that's what they tell you. According to the local authority, the Teeside free port is the largest in the UK, and it's covering 4,500 acres, and is predicted to create more than 18,000 jobs over the next 5 years. Where are these people going to come from? We're not making them anymore. No, with all these on, I'm not going to say it. Oh, go on then. All these forever chemicals getting into our system and destroying our little sperm's ability to swim straight. Fertility rates are down. Okay, that's as far as I'm going to go this time. Also, almost 50 reports of dead fish, shellfish and marine animals being stranded, as well as reports from fishermen of dead and dying catches, have been logged by the North East Fisheries Conservation Agency since December 2021. The local campaigners have also photographed dead shellfish and seabirds found on beaches in numbers they say are not typical for the area. Fishermen have reported that catches in inshore waters have been much lower and include dead and dying lobsters. Sharon Bell, who lives in the village of the Mask by the sea, has been spotted Spotting dead marine life since 2021. I blame the bear. Oh, let's have another sip. It might help. We're more than a year on now, and it was literally only 2 weeks ago when I was filming hundreds of mussels right along there. Are you following them one by one? Do you work for David Attenborough? No? Okay. It hasn't gone away, she says, and as she walked along the shore. Now, Hartlepool fisherman Paul Widowfield commented, "We may as well be putting our pots in the Sahara Desert now, because there's nothing out there." In May, a report by the Environment Department, DEFRA, which was headed up by George Useless. At least he's speaking up about the deal that he was involved in, which was of the Australian deal, which I'm a little bit happy about because there is a clause in there where they can actually get out of it. Yeah, thank God they put that in. Anyway, and other government agencies concluded that a toxic algae bloom was the most likely cause of the mass mortality event. That's rubbish. However, research by Dr. Cole and others, commissioned by a group representing the local fishing industry and campaigners, concluded that an industrial chemical called pyridine was, well, more plausible as an explanation. Now, pyridine is known to be present in sediments in the Tees estuary, following decades of industrial activity in the area. Sampling studies of sediment in the Tees estuary and lab tests of the chemical suggest that a strong potential link between the disturbed sediment and harm to marine life, according to Dr. Caldwell. Now, we're seeing that the legacy of Teeside's industrial heritage, long buried in the sediment, being brought back up and released back into the environment, he said. The initial death of marine life occurred shortly after almost 150,000 tonnes of sediment was dredged from the mouth of Tees estuary and dumped a few miles offshore. This was made necessary because of the expansion of the ports, etc., and obviously the free port. They need more more draft for the ships. A dredging operation of that size is unusual. Daily maintenance dredging to keep the Tees shipping channel clear tends to be on a smaller scale, so not as deep for a start, I suppose, or as much of. The potential link to contaminated sediments causing campaigners to raise concerns about ongoing dredging work to construct the free port. So the other thing about it is that you think about, like, for instance, peat bogs and all sorts of stuff, and peat holds carbon dioxide, and it's just like the sediment is holding these toxic chemicals and stopping them getting out and being consumed by filter feeders. In addition, a dredging company at the nearby location in the estuary is currently moving around 145,000 tonnes of sediment from the estuary and just dumping it out to sea. Well, that's just dispersing it from obviously going to get digested. Well, that's what this contains this pyridine. Now, following pressure from activists and MPs, DEFRA convened. Oh, what happened there? Back down again. That's right. Following pressure from activists and MPs, DEFRA convened an independent panel of experts to review the potential causes of the incident, and it is due to publish its conclusions later this month. MPs and DEFRA. Hopefully the activists get enough say in this. For the time being, DEFRA is dismissing the proposed link between dredging pyridine and dead marine life. Of course they are. Because it's a government body and they just want to get their free ports out there so they can then move on to expanding into charter cities. A comprehensive investigation was conducted where the government scientists considered the evidence robustly and concluded a naturally occurring algae bloom that was most likely caused, the department said in a statement. That's rubbish. Not to that level. Well, according to DEFRA, 10 wash-ups of marine life and beaches in the area were investigated by the Environment Agency in 2021. One, it was concluded, was caused. When was this? In 2022. Who was Environment Minister in 2022? That's Kofi now, isn't it? Well, that was oh my god, they haven't got enough people anyway, have they? Because flipping Liz Truss got rid of them all. Save at 15 million or something in wages. It concluded that it's caused by the outfall from a nearby power station, while another was due to higher than average sea temperatures in the summer of 2022, followed by cold temperatures in December. That higher than average temperatures, that the fish were actually being boiled in the sea. I think I did a video on that actually, or it wasn't a live stream. I talked about that. But it's yeah, basically these fish in certain areas, it's almost like a, I don't know, like a little microclimate in the sea, and the fish are getting boiled to death. Any wash-ups which followed the instance between October and December 2021 were on much the smaller scale and in line with what would be expected during stormy winter months, it said. Campaigners insist that they are not trying to put up a continued, to put a stop to continued development of the Tees estuary Freeport. Well, of course they say that, but this didn't need to happen, said Hartlepool fisherman Stan Rennie. He added that, of course, we want jobs, but if the Freeport is connected to recent events, it should not evolve to sacrifice the fishing industry and the ecosystem. Well, quite frankly, the fishing industry has been sacrificed for Brexit. So there, said it. Conscious not to go over. Hello, Sir Falk, hope you well. Ahoy there, shipping the timbers and all that. 91 Lees, hi there, hi Marcus. Just eating some crab. Oh, probably be on the bog in a bit then, probably. I would not eat anything that... I wouldn't even eat, I don't know, bass in the UK. Anything that is fished close to the... Yeah. Close. I wouldn't eat that. I definitely wouldn't eat any filter feeders. No. No, apparently it's true. It's have a look at, check it out, mate. It's not boiler, steaming boiler. It's been temperature too high for the fish to be able to survive. You were ambushed by Marcus. Duke Vengeance? Did I ambush Duke Vengeance? Where's Duke Vengeance? Did I ambush him? Who dares awaken me? Oh, I get you. Who dares awaken me? Who dares wake me up for my afternoon nap? Oh, hello, Marcus. Hello there, Duke. Hope you're feeling well. Hope you don't feel too angry today. Oh. Sorry. Yeah, Johnny. Pyridine is a substance best metabolized by bacteria. It has been added to alcohol to make it undrinkable, which is saying, oh, is that why when I get a bottle of alcohol, I'm going to get some kind of firelight and alcohol or something like that, yeah? Or alcohol from the supermarkets, yeah, they use for cleaning or what have you. And you don't want to try and drink it? No. One thing make you blind anyway, but because ethanol, it's ethanol really, isn't it? Ethanol, alcohol. It's got the bad bit in it. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, it tastes disgusting. It tastes like airwax. And that's pyridine, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I did try. Don't recommend it. Is it pyridine or pyridine? Expanding ports without environmental study. Oh, that's a good point. Think about that. That's a valid point. They wouldn't have done that, would they? Because, we're never at the European Union. But I thought they rolled over the laws, but I bet they ignored them, though. Won't be a bit surprised with this lot. Oh, that's my dishes done, says Walt Harrison. Oh, better go and spend some time with the wife. Oh, night, buddy. I can't. She's not here. Oh, she got arrested, didn't she? In Germany somewhere, Greta Thunberg got briefly detained. So well, we're making headlines, isn't it? She is such a clever girl. I watched a series of interviews. Actually, I did record them actually with with Channel 4, and I don't know if you saw them, but she was so articulate, so articulate. She's a very, very bright girl, very bright. It still could be shit. Encouraging the growth of competing organisms. Ooh. It's benzene ring. Oh, it's a benzene ring derivative. Oh my god, no. Getting all technical. I remember I did a stream once a while back, and we were talking about fusion reactors and stuff, and fission and stuff. And it's I had a couple of people on there, and I was getting quite technical. It was. I'm lost. Oh, nice to see you, Paul. Take care, buddy. Need to go and do some food, so have fun with dinner. But okay. Yeah, I'm only going on till another 20 odd minutes, 19 minutes. Yeah, Wally. Then I'm going to join the Snowflake Show. The Tyne silt is full of it. I bet it is. The idea that you can just scoop the whole lot up and just let the whole thing just dump it out further out to sea. It's just spreading contamination. You already contaminated the area where you've been dredging. There will be a huge amount of marine life down there anyway because of the shipping and whatnot. You know, taxiing ships, dumping out all that fuel, and all little tugs and stuff. But when I used to work in Hart's cruisers and for, I think it used to pump out more spent diesel, and it did actually burn the stuff through those the water-cooled exhausts. You see, yeah. Where are we? Scroll down. Oh, too far up. Shit is a ring derivative. What? There's number 3. Tommy Gunn goes, I asked Ian Duncan Smith. Oh my god. I asked Ian Duncan Donut Nose Pickin' Smith what earwax tasted like. He said he preferred snotters. He did. And we saw it. Who was he behind at the time? Was that oh, when he was picking his nose. Oh, crikey, the one that got shafted by Boris Johnson. Oh, I'll come to him in a minute. Yeah, no, she wasn't arrested. No, she was just detained briefly, wasn't she? Can you stop doing this, Greta? We love you, though. Yeah. I have to admit, I do love that girl. I think she's brilliant. I like the spitting image, oh, yeah, puppet of Greta Thunberg. Oh. So why is the curry trying... What? Jared says, why is the curry trying to grab me? Because it knows you want it. Ian M says, I've got itch. It might be the crabs. Oh my god, who you been there by? Oh, haven't you heard of... safe sex and all that? Ooh. What that? Oh, horrible thought. Oh dear. Did I miss something? Says Joe. Pizzagate. What Pizzagate get people? Was it? What about Pizzagate? I'm confused. I only have 6 left. Sorry, I only have 6 left in the UK. Says Kool-Aid. Yeah, Kool-Aid. 6 left. What? I'm confused. Struggling a bit. I'll sort it out, buddy. I have to admit, I'm a bit up and down these days. You know, if I'm feeling okay, I'll do a live stream. But other times, I feel a bit up and down. Oh, weeks. Oh, you've only got 6 weeks left in the UK. Get out quick. That's what I say. Blimey. Oh, the missus went back, and I can't imagine them. Well, I went and visited the kids last January, or February last year, and did it under duress and pressure, really. Because I've already seen the kids, because I took advantage of the fact they come see us. Ian Dumbass Smith. You're not wrong, Duke. You're not wrong. The Snowflake Show starts at 9 PM Greenwich Mean Time, 10 PM CET. So you have to be over an hour. Oh yeah, good point. Oh, I forgot about that, isn't it? Yeah, sorry. Oh, I could go on longer. I've run out of things to say. Right, what should we talk about then? What can I quickly find out about Because this pyridine is a big problem. It's a big worry, really. You know, we can't keep poisoning the whole ecosystem. You know, you can't just keep doing this. Well, we can't, can we? It's wrong. It's not going to bode well for our future existence either. We'll take revenge. Giant lobsters are coming up and eat us. We don't want that either, no. Yeah, so the Brexit ministers, they clashed over the EU plans. Oh, the plans to scrap EU laws, which are the sunset clause by the end of this year. And we've got the nonsense, Andrew. I've got the chat up in front of me as well, so it's like quick notes and things. I did start with those comments. Andrew Tate perhaps caught by pizza. Oh, he was. Hello, Vincent. Caught by pizza. What a prat. Tate is discovering the homoerotic scene in Romania. Do you mean in the prison? Has he been in that out yet, has he? Because he didn't get his bail. Andrew Tate. Taken down. Andrew Tate, who's taken down by Greta Thunberg. Andrew Tate perhaps caught by pizza. 6 weeks more sentenced to be in the UK. Oh my god. Getting from bad to worse, isn't it? You know, the whole of the United Kingdom is actually a beautiful country. It's been destroyed and ruined, and it's run by a whole load of idiots. And they happen to be, unfortunately. Make sure I haven't missed anybody out. Grab me. Right. Okay. I'll put a search in. What should that search be? Oh. Marcus, do any of the EU laws affect the EU itself directly? No. It's only going to be affected. It can't, can it? Because we've got no jurisdiction or anything from EU at all, have we? Regarding the European Court of Justice or anything. Nothing we do is going to affect the EU. But will it affect any of the trade and cooperation agreement? That's the other question, isn't it? Does it affect that? Does it make it null and void? Tate guy is the type of dude that gets and it isn't happening because he is paying somebody. Maybe. Was he kickbox or something? He's a kickboxer, isn't he? Maybe he's kickboxing them all. Oh dear. I'm just off for a tom tip, but I'll keep you running in the keep what your number. Oh, cheers, Ron. When he leaves jail, if he is walking weird, it's because the money ran out. He had to pick that soap up, didn't he? Oh dear. Cheers, that Ron. Dude, where the heck is my mind diverging to? Says Joe. I don't know, but maybe you've been around me too long. It's hard to say. I kind of like rude stuff. Doesn't do the channel any favours, mine. Yeah, and also got to be really, really. Since the latest updates to the policies on YouTube, you mustn't do any swearing whatsoever. Nothing. No naughty words. No nothing. So careful now. So, Badmonk says, on your last video, you asked about people's broadband speeds. Well, I get just over 600 megabits per second. And about 80 megabits per second upload for £20 per month with free 5G. That's good. That's very good. But you're in Scotland, so I expect that. I take it obviously you're on fibre. But are you rural at all, or are you in the city? Are you in the city? Or in a town? Former Conservative Chancellor, crikey, Nadine Zahawi is said to be agreed to be paying the HMRC several £1 million in tax following an investigation into his financial affairs. Who would have thought? Well, Ben Kentish interviewed him, didn't he, a while back, and I think it was Ben Kentish. But anyway, he lied to him. So yeah, and he's got caught out again. Time for some Minecraft, says Duke Vengeance. I'm thinking of a trade and security. I'm thinking of trade and security regulations or pollution in the North Sea. Ah, you talking about communal? Oh, okay. That's a valid point. We've got very little access to any kind of security in the EU anyway. We've lost access to most of it. Can't even access the highly secure, the highly accurate parts of the GPS systems. So my God, Tommy guns on dial-up. Don't be silly. No, you're not. You're on an ADSL maybe, but you're not on dial-up. Who has dial-up these? You got ISDN lines or something. You remember that? Like playing on the ZX Spectrum. I enjoy trying to name the LP covers behind. There's a few of them. I log them all on a website called Discord, and it's gives you a value on the best, good quality, mid quality, and low quality. It's based on what they get sold. It's also a selling platform. It's quite accurate. It's quite good, and the high end that estimation of my little collection is just over 10 grand. And then there's mid range and obviously low end, so between 3 and 10,000. Most of my stuff is in pretty good order, so I won't say because I'm not selling them. So I enjoy trying to name the LP. We need me. Very need me. Oh, sit the kettle on. Yeah, it's a bit like that. Yeah, twing twing. Yeah, Joe, you remember that? But the first internet that I ever had was a company called Paston Chase in Keswick Hall. It was based in Norwich, and they provided you with a little 3.5-inch disc, which is basically what you use to connect your internet with, and you have to put your code in. And they would you connect. That's really slow. That was like 72-bit or something. 2 bits, whatever it was ridiculously slow. And no, it's not even that. No, 72. That was 24, I think it was, or something like that. That was really slow anyway. It was a really slow internet, and it might have a bit of email on it, but yeah, the web was a waste of time. But then again, there wasn't a lot on there. But crikey, if I knew then what I know now, my God, I'd have bought as many flipping domain names as I get my hands on, and a fortune. Died up, yeah. Crikey. So anyway, that's interesting. Oh, about Nadeem Zahari. Let's have a look at Nadeem Zahari. No, Dean Tories. Oh. Just briefly. News, even though I spelt it wrong. There you go. Tory MP. Oh, the UKCA mark. Oh my God, lovely. That'd be great, isn't it? That'd be very good. Placement for the CE mark. The thing that really concerns me is that is the UK reach and replace the EU reach. I don't like talking about these things, so I know it's difficult because it's virtually impossible to do. And the cost, it's already started. The industry has doing the tests. Involved animal testing. Animal testing stuff that we already tested. Maddening. So the Financial Times says there's no path back to pre-Brexit Northern Ireland. To a pre-Brexit Northern Ireland. Oh dear. I'm looking. So many little businesses are just gone to the wayside. Oh my God. And then what about Britishvolt? I did a video about it the other day, didn't I? Yesterday. I talked about that. And Tory MPs are kicking off about it as well, including William Hague. It was just obvious it was going to happen, because it's just they were teetering on the edge for so long, weren't they? 1 minute it's just, oh my god, they can't pay the wages, and all of a sudden somebody steps up with some more money, a bit more investment. It doesn't sound like an investment to me when you're throwing money into a burning fire. No. And yesterday, they called in the administrators, so it's it's not necessarily bankruptcy, but it's whether or not they can save it, or it'll just get broken up or something. Broken up to what though? It's not even a fully fledged business yet. It's really development stages. Oh, it's bubbling over it. I've got this smelly thing over here, but wax in the top, and it's literally bubbling. Reminds me of that Carry On film where they check the women in these. I can't remember the name of it now. It's about monsters. Anyway, I'll digress. So anyway, the Britishvolt is that's no more, and it was hailed by Alexander Boris Johnson, wasn't it? Some kind of Brexit, get out of the EU, but do all this stuff, and it just wasn't to be. It never was really going to be. And also, if you ask yourself, was it really necessary? It might have been in 2035 when the rules changed regarding, no more, the ban on carbon fuels, the combustion engine. So it's not very helpful, is it? The ministers have clashed over the opposition and the Conservative parties over the plan to scrap EU law. And where was that? Brexit are getting their bonfire. Not what I wanted. What's Brexit for? Britishvolt. Right. And administration. Pretty much means there's no saving it though. All those people invested money in it. What they got. Now what got me a little bit about this was every time you saw this Britishvolt, they literally just showed it as this. Put that in the video as this artist impressions of Britishvolt, and some of them are quite impressive. Oh, that looks impressive. Have you seen people standing around outside and stuff like that? And when it comes down to it's an industrial site. See how I find it. It's literally an industrial site. That's all it is. With a couple of buildings on, and look nothing like what they're showing in these artist impressions. It's just created this false sense of superiority. I mean, oh look how great we are! We've got our Britishvolt. Oh, it's so wonderful. When it comes down to it, it's literally just. I'll find it for you now. I'll find all the artist impressions now. That's all I'm getting is artist impressions. Literally, just look at that lot. Artist impressions. They're all artist impressions. Well, that's it. There you go. Save what else. That. Look, nothing like what, Well, how does that look anything like that? It doesn't, does it? All that. Look. That looked better than what I saw earlier. So yeah, they're literally showing these as though it's something as it could be, as this prospect of it, but it's just it come down to it wasn't to be. No. So about 300 odd staff, about 232 staff have been made redundant. Majority of the staff are gone, and employees were told news at an all-staff meeting on Tuesday morning. And the firm had planned to build a giant factory to make electric car batteries in Blythe, Northumberland. Well, you know what's happened with Jaguar Land Rover? They've decided, because they're owned by Tata, they decided, we're going to be going, I think, Poland and various other places in the EU to get their batteries from. The thing about this Britishvolt is they ain't got no minerals. Where the hell are they going to get all the stuff they need to build these batteries in the first place. They're going to have to import them. And the whole point, one of the reasons why Jaguar Land Rover decided to look to the EU is because of the rules of origin. That's getting stricter and stricter and stricter, especially for batteries. Yeah, for EV batteries. And, but it's a bit of a problem. And it's not a problem, sorry, it's gone now. The problem's gone, really. It's obviously a massive problem for these people who've invested billions of pounds into this Britishvolt. Last January, about 1.6 billion was promised in investment. The UK government promised 100 million, but there was conditions attached. They had to get to a certain state, or they had to do their first production run, or something like that. They had to get to, or machines had to go in, or something like that. I'm not sure what it was, but there was conditions, and they just can't get the money. They can't get the money to carry on. All they're doing is paying wages and not getting anywhere. It's not though they had those orders for batteries. The Britishvolt struggled to turn a profit and ran out of money. And its board is believed to have decided on Monday that there was no viable bids to keep the company afloat. There was talk on Monday about some new investors coming on board, but there's literally all the shares are gone. The problem with that is people already made investments. So, they weren't going to agree to that, were they? So the project was championed by the government ministers due to the area being one of the main so-called red wall seats. And I was listening to the councillor in where was it? In Blythe, and he was it's such a sad day, but it's a fantastic. It has to be the best site in the country. He's going, it didn't do any favours, did it? It's gone. The UK currently only has one Chinese-owned battery plant next to the Nissan factory in Sunderland, and while 35 plants are planned or already under construction in the European Union, and the European Union now has with Sweden, because Sweden has got some more minerals, and some minerals. It'll take about 15 years before they can even get it out of the ground because there's a process. Meanwhile, we're going to have to probably buy all these minerals in from some Chinese company, or Chinese state probably. Since they have all the contracts with most of the countries that have these minerals in the first place, such as in Africa. The industry experts have said that the UK will need several battery factories to support the future of UK car making, as pure petrol and diesel engines are phased out over the next decade. Obviously, 2035 is supposed to be gone, aren't they? And the supercar manufacturers such as Lamborghini and all Maseratis, all them lot, and Ferrari, they're all kicking off, they are. Because, oh my God, everyone likes the sound and the smell of the combustion engine. Well, the thing is, these Teslas, they can outperform. Well, I wouldn't buy a Tesla. Not when they just all of a sudden drop the prices of Tesla. For those people who already bought the Teslas, the value of their cars have plummeted. So, Dan Hurd, a joint administrator and partner at EY, said the firm had offered significant opportunity to create jobs and employment, as well as support and development of technology and infrastructure needed to help with the UK's energy transition. Now, energy in the UK is this is another point, isn't it? Really, energy in the UK, we've got a massive problem with infrastructure regarding EV cars. Where's all the power going to come from? We're struggling to get the electricity now. Where's it all going to come from? How are we going to get it down the cables? These are fast chargers. These are high amperage things. Always wonder about that, And I'm going to clock off in a second. And I know that I'm an hour out because it's about 10 o'clock for the Snowflake show. But I've got a little work I've got to do as well. The political mega projects that have fallen flat on their faces. Anything when the government's involved will fall flat on its face. They're good at that. If I live in a high rise, where do I plug my? Yeah, exactly. Where do you plug your lecky car in? I don't know. You can't, can you? Very long extension lead. What happened is you'll just be expected to use well, this, you know, the points that are supplied to you outside. There ain't enough of them, is there? Everyone's going over to Leggy. No one's going to be able to charge their cars. They'll all be competing. They'll be fighting at the forecourts to plug their cars into these electric points. So what? Person on the ground floor could make an absolute fortune reselling the electric. Vincent, plug it into the moon. EVs charge at night, and the National Grid said it's better for them. Not always charge at night, really. If you're on a journey, let's say, for instance, you work across the country, you're going to plug it in during the day. People aren't always going to be thinking, oh, I can put my EV in at night. What they'll do is, when they come home from work, they get out of their car, and they'll plug it in. There and then. They won't think, oh yeah, I can come in first, and I'll wait until 9 o'clock, then I'm going to plug it in. You know, some people might. There isn't the infrastructure to support electric cars, there isn't, Duke. I've had this conversation before, I mentioned it several times, I can't see it. I really can't see it. And it's antiquated. The infrastructure in the UK regarding getting electricity from A to B across the country, from the power stations, is antiquated. And then you've got demand loads. You know, for instance, I mentioned this before, where you have a situation where everyone's coming from work at the same time and they chuck the kettle on. This is where home working's quite good, I suppose, because you're not all going to be at the same time. If people leave off work at 5 o'clock, they get home by 6, they come and stick the kettle on or whatever, you know, or go have a shower or put the tea on and put the oven on. It's high demand all at once. Surge. Charge it everywhere. There are electric points here everywhere, even at Lidl's. There is. Yeah, there is here in France. You've got them everywhere. The problem is, even our local supermarkets, in a small supermarket, it's got 2 electric points there, which is not enough. But saying that, there's hardly anyone in them. I've only seen them a couple of times, cars plugged in. But you've got the idiots, the kind of people. I did a video the other day about an idiot Brit that I know of who was driving in his car, and it's not legal here in France because he lives here. And he's parked the electric, in front of the electric. All the space is everywhere, and he has to park where somebody might want to charge their car. You know? It's the mentality of it that gets me. Why would you do that? I should have turned up with my tractor and said, oh, I need to plug it in, mate. Can you move your car, thanks? Or a horse. I ain't got a horse, but I've had a horse. I need to plug my horse in. Don't be so negative. The path to glorious old times of the British Empire includes the return of horse-drawn carriages. That'd be fantastic. I would love to see horse poo everywhere on the roads. Why all be Amish, you know what? Yeah, be Amish. And there are now more than 2,500 electric vehicles and public charging stations in BC. Blimey, that's a lot. Need them. Quite good here as well. Like mentioned about in Lidl's you mentioned Lidl's earlier. Well, in Lidl's in Saint Jean in France, they have got all these covered there, all solar panels, and then below it you also got all these bays for cars, electric cars. This is what happens when you entrust your country's infrastructure to private companies. That's a massive problem, isn't it? It's just madness. Now, I mentioned in my previous video about the internet and what have you, because I was really surprised about the internet speeds we're getting in comparison to what my son's getting in the UK. And it's every single little nook and cranny here in France is getting really hot. Yeah, getting high speed internet. I'll be getting around 2 gigabit download, which is crazy. It's 600 megabits per second upload. For me, that's a game changer. But it's you don't look after that. I mean, don't look after it. If we don't increase our infrastructure regarding digital connections, but also electricity, we're going to be held back, aren't we? We're not going to move forwards. Oh, held for review. What's held for review? Oh, it's done. Oh, cheers. Whoever it was. This is what happens when you trust private companies. Yep. Oh, what's the one said? Robert Llewellyn. Robert Llewellyn. Yeah. Number 3, you're right. Oh, Ron. Sorry. They have timers on them set to 1:30 to 4:30. Yeah, but another one's got a finger. They've got to plug it in. Yeah. Fully Charged Show is very good. Yeah, I get on the Fully Charged Show. I'm on there as well. Not on there, but I mean, I subscribed. I get notifications for it. It's very good. Talk about digital, electric cars and stuff, EV vehicles, electric vehicles. Here in Belgium, they are now going to charge a premium if you use additional appliances at peak times. They didn't talk about premiums here in France, but they're going to cut the electricity back at certain times. I actually don't think it's a problem. I don't think it is. I think it's they've been preemptive. I don't think we're going to have such a problem as they think we are, because I think a lot of people can't afford it. They're automatically cutting back. I know I, for one, have really cut back on my consumption of electricity, apart from this computer. But yeah, it's not using electricity nowhere near as much as I used to. And energy in general, because it's expensive. More expensive. Well, our electricity here is actually cheap, but I mean, like, energy in general, heating the house and all that sort of stuff. House has been absolutely freezing. Caroline hasn't been. I haven't bothered putting the heating on. All I've got at the moment is the heat on the floor, which my waddy's laying in front of down there, which is electric. But it's only on half, so it's about 750 watt at the minute. My mate handed back his lecky, so many problems left stranded. Oh, handed back his lecky. So many problems have left stranded. Stranded. Charger's not working. Range crap, expensive. Yeah, a lot of the smaller, the cheap, well, budget-friendly options are only about 100-mile range, which isn't enough. You know, I think the cheapest Tesla is about 260-mile range. Tories love tractors. They love tractor porn, Leslie. That's what they do. They love tractor porn. I've been charged many times, but never convicted, says. Very funny. Well, I should say it's a taxpayer funded. Okay. Have you got home? No, home battery, Mark. You talking to me? Home battery. We're on self-consumption because we run on solar here, and we use mainly solar, but we're connected to the grid, so we're doing self-consumption. Nothing goes into the grid. We basically create enough, which is basically our latent supply. So our bills are small. Electricity bills are small. So there was a Portuguese writer that said a bicycle is a transportation means where a man is his one horse. Mark, fully charged show. I don't see that. If you had a horse, get done for shitting in the street. 50 quid fine. Oh, bugger. Yeah, but nappies on now. Now, where I'm from, in Norfolk. You probably heard of Great Yarmouth, Brexit Central, one of. And horses, well, there's these like ponies across, you can go up and down the front, seafront, and then, cart up and down these ponies. They're treated like shit, these animals are, poor things. And they have to wear these nappy things now, it's like a... Not your nappies, that's just like a catcher thing, because underneath their back end, anything that comes out goes into this thing. Yeah, it's a part of shit. So wherever you go, you're carrying part of shit with you. Horse muck. Oh dear. In the olden days, when we were kids, we were told by the grandfather, get out there and pick up all the horse shit when the guy turned up with the coal. Obviously, it's before my time. With the coal, and the old coalman turns up with his horse and cart with the sacks of coal on their back. They go there. They're going to. This is a story actually from my wife's mother, my mother-in-law, and picking up the poop, go in the garden. Things you have to do. Charging is overnight. Yeah, but that's a lifestyle thing. It's not always the case. Some people work nights these days. And if you're doing long distance, charging overnight ain't going to help you, is it? People get out of their car, they're going to plug the car in. Okay, you can program it as well, I know. I'm paranoid, though. I want to make sure, when I plugged it in, I want to make sure that, yeah, it says it's charging. I don't want to say, oh yeah, program to charge and hope it's going to come on. And then I need to, maybe I'm at the end of my charge and it comes to more, oh shit. Now what do I do? I'm going to be late for work. It's going to another 30, 40, 50 minutes. It was a top-of-the-range Audi e-tron, broke down, had to have it transported to an Audi Lecky, and that's the other thing. There is not enough. There's not enough engineers and mechanics out there who can deal with electric cars. It's totally different. Isn't King Upchuck getting the new royal coach? Oh, God, really? I wonder if his wife will be pulling it. Let's hope. Oh, well, according to Phil Morehouse from Different Bias, the royal family doesn't cost us anything hardly. Only a few houses. Apparently they're getting a royal coach. A new royal coach. Gasoline. I still have a gasoline fear. Do you know what, though? If your car... You're like me, I do hardly any miles. Last time I used the car was... Oh, it's actually yesterday, actually. I used it yesterday. That was the last time I used it. I hadn't used it since I dropped the missus off last Monday. Monday gone, Monday before. So for someone like me to change it to an electric car, it makes no sense. I'm using hardly any fuel in comparison to some people. I don't go anywhere. I would like an electric car, but can I warrant it? And isn't it getting rid of my car when I do such small distances? Isn't it less environmental? Get rid of it and replace it with an electric. I'd have thought so. Maybe, maybe not. What's that? Royal horses don't wear catchers. No, they expect you to go and then pick it up yourself. With the plebs, you see. I passed my driving test in a Fiat Pan. I passed my driving test. I can't remember. I actually can't remember. Top of the introduce. Scroll down. Does it mean that the Royals will be giving the Irish back their coach? Probably not. I stopped watching Morehouse over the Von Windsors. I have not watched a Phil Morehouse video for probably maybe a year. I won't be surprised. He grates on me. I probably grate on people as well, to be fair. Does that mean that the Royals will be giving the hope? Nope. They won't. They won't. I'll just look at it and stare at it. It's a point where the brand of EV I'm considering is a Kia. Yeah, it's doing very well in the reviews, that Kia, isn't it? Yeah. As you said, the South Koreans, they're very good at electronics anyway, aren't they? Yeah, most of the, right? Samsung and most of the TV flat panels, monitor flat panels, most of them are made in, well, some are made in China as well, but in South Korea. I think all the Sony panels are made in South Korea, aren't they? I think that's right. I'm going away for a while. Au revoir, peeps. Au revoir, buddy. You take care, my friend. Thanks for coming. That's providing the public live with the droppings of their betters. Ooh, that's nice, Brian. I was in a Datsun Sunny. Oh my god. Datsun. Not a Nissan Sunny, a Datsun Sunny. God, the first Nissan. What's the first Nissan I ever had? Actually, that was a 300. Nissan 300 ZX. I think it was ZX. Sports car thing. That thing was ridiculous. I mean, it had a 3-litre engine in it. I think it was 3 litre. Yeah, it was about around 3 litres. And it was mental. It's the sort of thing they soup like the Skyline. They soup up to like up to about, I don't know, 1,000 brake horsepower. That sort of thing. That's ridiculous. But I did love that car. I have to admit, I did love that car. It sounded awesome. But little bit of fuel on it. It was my first car though. Was a Morris Minor van. It's not a car. It's a van. Ex GPO. Morris Minor van. Fantastic little thing. Till I bastardized it. I lowered it. I changed the engine for a V4 Corsair engine. Changed all the flywheels. Get that in there. Obviously gearbox. And no, it wasn't the gearbox. No, it was the same gearbox. So what was the same gearbox? It's the same gearbox. I was quite young when I started, many years ago. It's a plate converter. You had to put a converter between the bell housing of the gearbox and the actual engine. The gearbox is quite solid on the Morris Minor, so I could cope with it. Never got around to upgrading the brakes. You're supposed to upgrade brakes at 5. I put using Morris Marina brakes, disc brakes. Never got around, but they had drum brakes on the van. They were bigger brakes anyway. They didn't stop you. You're okay-ish. I didn't intend to stop. But yeah, V4 Corsair engine, the Ford V4. The short stumpy engine, you see, is fit under the bonnet. And there's a lot of room in the bonnet of a Morris Minor because the engine, the LA series block, was rather small. And I could actually lift one of them. I could literally lift it out. You take the front panel off, the little smiley face, you take your panel off the front, drag the engine, lift it out by hand, and stick it on the trolley. Out. Cast iron block, but it's A series block, like in the Mini. Fantastic little car, Morris Minor. M. Carpenter, the Model S is about 100. Oh, crikey. There's about you're talking the testable 100 brake horsepower. That's nuts. My car's Mini Clubman. Yes. I like the old minis, even the new ones, I like, to be honest. BMW Minis. Sleepers for wimps, I imagine. I have now a 78. We've got a Triumph Spitfire. It's basically the same chassis as the Triumph Herald. You get a very tight turn circle, and you can literally remove all the body, couldn't you? With about 7 bolts, apart from electrical connections. But it's yeah. The only reason I know that is because I built a kit car on the basis of a Triumph Herald, and it was a wooden car. It was actually plywood sheathed in aluminium, and it was a copy of an MG Midget. It was JC Sports Cars or something. Was the design. It was actually solid as a rock, that thing. And that was based on the chassis of the Triumph Herald and the engine and everything else. The engine, I changed the engine for a Ford. But anyway, the chassis, you had to cut all the outriggers back and what have you, and you make some changes to the chassis. But yeah, it's quite a few of them flying about, actually. They also made a Lotus 7 version as well, which they called it the Locust. Not a Lotus, Locust. Locust 7. Yeah, lovely car. Triumph Spitfire, the early Triumph Spitfires. That and the old MGs. My brother-in-law had a little MG, or MGB. What else we got on it? Sunny. 20 years old. My last petrol car was a Sunny, 20 years old. They were good, reliable old cars, weren't they? But the bodies used to rust away. Hello, baby. Hope you're well, buddy. Nice to have you here. I'm kicking off in a minute. I'm just messing about in a minute. I'm not doing any 6-hour streams tonight. Last Sunday I did 6 hours. 6 hours. I was drawing stuff. Yeah, it's weird stuff. It was a mutation between the penguin in his little amphibious duck and Priti Patel. Joe says, Phil, Dr. Voldemort. Yes, you're not wrong. Voldemort. Oh, there. In the Toyota Corolla. Oh my god. I've had a Toyota MR2, hairdresser's car. That's fun. That's a fun little thing, but it's that was cheap. It got really cheap. And I had a Toyota, not Supra. What's the other one? Ah, not the Supra. One before Supra. Oh, anyway, that was a nice car. My Fiat Panda doesn't drink much, and I keep it clean, and it's as little pollutant as I get. Oh, you got a little Fiat Panda? I had a Fiat Panda before. I've had two of them. I had the 4-wheel drive one, which was a mistake because you could get bits for it, and I love the roof. That's what I love for the whole Fiat Panda. The rollback roof, a bit like the Citroen. Yeah. Or even the Cat 4. Yeah, the Renault 4 with its rollback roof. Not very secure. You don't keep anything in there because it gets stolen. But it's got a much problem with that around here. Scroll on down. Take HArt. The Trabants were East German. The Russians had the Lada. France. What the Wartburg? Anyone remember a Wartburg? Camry? What's a Camry? A Wartburg. Anyone remember that Wartburg? That was a little air-cooled engine. A single cylinder or something. That was a noisy old thing. My mother-in-law had one. Although that was probably the best car she ever had, to be honest. That was brilliant. Very reliable, it was. Until it finally... Oh, my God. I once saw a Robin Reliant with alloys. Why would you put alloys on a Robin Reliant? Oh, dear. Only fools and horses. Best car I ever owned is a Lexus LS 430. The worst car is the Vauxhall Senator. The most fun car? Oh, the Mazda RX-7 with a rotary wankel engine. We're going to have a rotary wankel engine out there somewhere, a bit like the old Norton motorbike with a rotary wankel engine. Brilliant things. So, right, it's about bring back memories, isn't it? Got memories. And down memory lane. Brand, crikey. You can't fit anything in the back. What about the old bubble cars and then the Messerschmitt? The old Messerschmitt bubble car. The old bubble cars, one that had the recoil start through the dashboard. My cousin had a Wartburg. It was the a tank in disguise. Yeah, bloody oh, crikey, these are coming back. Memories coming back here. Fiat Uno. That's another good looking car. 3 ashtrays at the driver's seat. Oh, of course, you got to have 3 ashtrays. If you're a non-smoker. Round here, this is the truth. I keep seeing men with mustachios driving red seats on the highway at 80 kilometers an hour, like they're going at 150 kilometers an hour. What? What? I'm confused now. Okay. You might have to explain. Or have you just done that? Or the old Lada, yeah. It's in Eastern Germany. Lada, what's the Skoda? The Lada. What the original, the old Skodas, what the Shell, something. It's that was air cooled engine in the back. Weren't very reliable, the old Skodas, original Skodas. Are not the same things these days as we know. Blimey. Nothing wrong with 2-strokes. I love my Salsa right-hand drive and my BMW G series. A wangle engine. All the downsides of a two-stroke, but none of the upsides. I tell you what, look, the wangle engine is probably the nearest if we're going to get to an electric engine. The original wangle engines, they used to burn the vanes out because we're bizarre shape. The cylinder's sort of like that sort of shape. Like, cylinder, I mean the piston. The piston's a rotor, and it's sort of that sort of shape. And each of the peaks had these, like, what would be the rings on a piston, and they used to burn out. Oh, they got over that one. The RX-7's alright. Still had a bit of a lifespan on that engine though, 100,000 miles or something. And it's dead. Oh, was it? The Wartburg was a posher version of a Trabant. Blimey. Yes, Tommy. My granddad loved driving the old Volvos. Used to get into bad accidents where he was completely unscathed. Well, I mean, the old boxy ones, they're quite square, weren't they? They're quite boxy Volvos. Those things are like tanks. Oh, Ginger's a 1963 Volkswagen Beetle. Oh, my sister's Morris Minor was 1962 until they rolled it. I rolled it. And that's a lovely era. The old Beetle, my friend had the 1600 Beetle. But he destroyed it by putting a whale tail on the back. It looked ridiculous. Pointless. The big fiberglass like whale tail thing going on attached to the engine cover. Stupid. Lane and Daff with a Veromatic gearbox. What was the car that had like a band gearbox, like some sort of automatic gearbox that had bands in it? Some strange idea. Marcus, right end drive, not right hand drive. RN drive. What's that? Confused now. Most of the ones I had were 9 cylinders with a 900mm bore. What? That sounds big. You talking about Brian. Oh, you talking about trucks and lorries. A 900mm bore. Oh, you talking about the Wangle engines. Is that right? Oh, that's big. Lots of accidents with balls there. What? Daff. What about Leyland Daff? It was fun driving in the rain at night with the radio on. I hit the turn signal and the headlights dimmed. Oh. I think you need a new battery. Oh dear. Well, my old Moggy Mine there, my sister's Moggy Mine had semaphore signals on it. Can anyone remember the old semaphore signals? When you flick the old little lever, and on the end of my lever, on the end of the lever for the signals, the actual end of the lever, you go blub, 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 a little bulb in there. So end of the lever used to go. That was the indicator for the indicator for the indicators, and also on the dashboard, on the little light on the dash as well, used to flash. But the semaphores come out, so it looked like little servo-driven semaphores went dong. Yeah, direction indication. So yeah, my old Moggy Mine, I had a bit of problem with the battery. I couldn't afford to buy a battery for it at the time, but I had the crank handle. So there I was. I used to love using the crank handle. It's just everyone would stare at you, you know. It'd been in the 80s, you see, late 80s, 1970s Morris Minor van, and I cranking it. Not much fun in the cold, mind. Or if you store that at a junction. Mac and cheese, says Leslie. My sis and her hubby drove over a boar when they were in France. Blimey, the boar was okay and ran away. I tell you what, my friend here, Violette, friend, she'd in her Cat 4, she ain't got it anymore actually, but in her Cat 4, which I bought her actually, I went for a song, she'd hit a deer. They run out because basically they jump over the roads, you know, literally in front of you, and poof, and the poor old deer died. And she was really distressed about that. The car was absolutely fine. Had a hole in the radiator, it had a dent, and a bent bumper, but you know, it was a big old deer. You've got to be so careful here though in France, you really are, especially in rural France. They're coming too, so you think you're okay, and then comes another one. Poof. I just figured out why most motorists are fat. No crank handles. Exactly. You say fork handles? No, all crank handles. I saw a boar getting shot twice. Centre mass in a cornfield where the ones were running away. Scary. They are tough little buggers, aren't they? Not them ramming you either. Bust your legs right up. Mac and cheese, my favourite. Oh. Marine cathedral engines, call them cathedral engines because when you stood on the oil pan, the diaphragm of the scavenge space was 4 metres above you. I'm getting very confused. Or marine cathedral engines. Oh, Brian, were you a marine engineer? See the size of some of these engines they put in these container ships? They're as big as a flipping house. They're massive. I wonder if they use this bunker fuel. It's like syrup, this stuff is. I had a Daewoo that was that tilted when I did. Okay. I know I'm a little fat, but that was a little weird. It's a Daewoo that tilted. The only problem with these cars, like Daewoos, Kias, and they lose a lot of money at the bit. I don't know about the new Kia electric mine, but they do lose a lot of money. Oh, sorry. What are you making as I pop? What are you making as I pop over? I take it, is Leslie near you, Mad Monk? I've got a funny feeling she might be. I know Leslie's in Scotland. Oh, you gotta have your food, your mac and cheese. That's not fancy that, mac and cheese. I won't be cheddar cheese. I could do Cantal. I don't tend to buy cheddar cheese. It's not really. You can get it here, but it's not readily available, and it's a bit pricey as well. Cheddar cheese, and it's not like good cheddar either. It's okay cheddar. Anyway, it's time for me. I'm gonna make a move because I want to. I really must get work done. Paperwork. Taxes due. Month. Again. I remember seeing 2 CVs on fire on the Parapeak, and this was in Paris. Air cooled and hot summers did not mix. No, I bet they didn't. At least it didn't freeze in the winter. No. Oh, Jean, she wants some pictures. I'm a class surveyor now, and yes, the larger box boats burn around 120 metric tons a day at sea speed. What do you mean knots? That is nuts. 120 metric tons of fuel a day. Blimey. That is a lot. Well, yes, Bill would like to pictures actually. It'd be quite cool. Very interesting. Ah, Leslie's in the corner. Oh, I see. A local yokel. Okie dokie. Anyway, I'm going to call that it because, like I say, I must get some stuff done. So thanks for joining us. No, I really do appreciate it. And I hope that was either fun or interesting. I don't know. Maybe both. Who knows? Or a total waste of time. Sorry. Oh dear. Au revoir. Oh, I don't really want to, but I must. My computer's already turned off over there. I need to turn that back on. So, night, everybody. So, thanks a lot for coming there. So, cheers. And cheers, Pierre Dallas and Mad Monk for moderating. Very appreciate it. And we'll be going live again on Sunday. I know. Oh, well, I need to try and be a bit more. How to put it? Quite hard because doing that sketchy thing. I think I chose something that was a little bit over the top. I need to choose something a bit more. How to put it? Maybe just a face or something, or the head or something, doing something silly with it. Otherwise, it just ends up taking too long. 6 hours. But you know how long it took because I was jabbering. But yeah, okay, I need to get some thoughts. Otherwise, I think people will drop off quite quickly. I think there wasn't enough going on, so I need to be a bit more. Or maybe I could redraw some bits. I don't know. Oh, anyway, who knows? Time to go anyway. So, night, everybody. Oh yeah, don't forget. Please hit the old like button. Not working though. Why is it so glitchy? Oh, here it comes. Could make its mind up, it couldn't. Oh, cheers for that. CT Hull
You must
NC.
feel the force around you.
Cheers, guys. Take care.